over 600 pounds. Parker's father was almost 1,000 pounds, so we're thinking he's going to grow up to be a big boy. Now, I know it's fun watching them jump in and out of the water, but believe it or not, this is something they would do out in the ocean. They'd use it to avoid predators. Now, what sort of predators would these guys deal with?
Sharks.
Killer whales and sharks. Now, we've got a pretty good training session starting up, and here to tell us a little bit about it, it looks like we've got Michelle, one of our animal trainers. Hi, Michelle.
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Well, welcome everyone to our seal and sea lion feeding. My name is Michelle. I'm working with Milo. Milo, you want to say hello? What was that?
I think he's thinking about it.
Good. That's the one I was looking for. Now, Milo is a 4-year-old California sea lion, and the way that you can tell he's a sea lion are a couple of things. You heard that vocalization. That vocalization is indicative of sea lions. It's where they get their names, Lion of the Sea, because they have that roar. Now, there's a couple of different roars. He's kind of young, so his is still not very mature. Parker has a much more mature vocalization, if I can get it. You can hear how much deeper that one is. Now, another way that you can tell are these beautiful front flippers. There they go. Show the front flippers. There we go. Good boy. Now, those front flippers allow those animals to do those aerials that you saw. And here's another one.
Woo! Nice back flip. Let's give him a round of applause.
Now,
That was a good one.
Parker actually can really get some air. If you think about it, he's weighing in about 650 pounds, but this behavior, where he's literally throwing his whole body out of the water, takes a lot of strength, and that's all done through those front flippers. Now, another way that you can tell the difference is the fact that they can move on land. You saw Milo climb up on this rock with no issues, and you see Parker rotating. They actually have fins that they can rotate underneath them, and so they can actually be quite quick on land. Now, the last difference that I'm going to show you
Oh my gosh. Oh.
is right on Milo's head, and those are those external ear flaps. Those are indicative of sea lions. Now, harbor seals that you see, I see Troy trying to get my attention over there. Harbor seals actually are quite good swimmers as well. They just use a different motive. Instead of using those front flippers, they use their rear flippers. And instead of a vocalization like a bark, they actually have what sounds more like a raspberry. And as for moving on deck, harbor seals actually have a fused lower spine. What that means is that they can't move around as well. They can still swim really well. They can do a lot of the same behaviors, but they will never be able to rotate those rear flippers underneath them. Well, Diane, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to you. I would like to say thank you all for coming to the aquarium, because your admission does help us take care of all of our animals. So for myself, all the staff, as well as all of our animals, we'd like to say thank you and enjoy the rest of your day here.
Thanks, Michelle. Now, even though it's really fun watching the animals jump in and out of the water like that, we actually do it for a purpose. We do it as part of training, which kind of leads to the next question: why do we train the animals? Why don't we just toss them their fish, let them have at it? Well, we train at this aquarium for 3 main reasons. The first reason is for mental stimulation. Who here goes to school? Who here went to school? Kind of nervous by the number of hands I did not see raised. Anyway, it actually turns out that seals and sea lions are, well, our seals and sea lions are pretty much going through school right now. Why do they need school? Well, like us, they're pretty smart. They need to be, because out in the ocean there's all sorts of things they need to figure out. For example, they need to figure out, okay, how am I going to get that fish? How am I going to avoid that predator? How am I going to attract that boyfriend? At the aquarium, they don't need to worry about that, but we still want to make sure that they use their big brains every day. So by teaching them to do things like headstands, to speak when we ask them to, or even just touch us very gently, like Odin over there is doing, we can make sure they're using those big brains. Now the next reason we train is for something called exercise. Who here exercises?